With the success of this NWO storyline and group, it was finally time for them to capitalize on the biggest match they could do. It was finally time for the leader of the NWO, Hulk Hogan, to finally face off against the man that would stand in the rafters and watch WCW for a full year. It was finally time for Hogan versus Sting. WCW had done an amazing job at building up this match to this point and building up Sting as the hero to save WCW. Now, instead of NWO shirts, now Sting masks would be flooded in the crowds in WCW and carried by fans. Once again in his career, Hogan was in another situation where he was about to have another mega match that defined a generation. All they had to do was stick the landing, right? Well, see, the thing about that is, the match was a disaster. One of the most unique things about professional wrestling is it doesn't matter how good of a story you can tell. You can tell the perfect story, essentially, when it comes to building up a match. But if you don't stick the landing, when it comes to actually delivering on the match that you've built up, it's not going to matter. What transpired was a horrible match with boring offense from both competitors and one of the most convoluted finishes I've ever seen in a wrestling match. Hulk Hogan would pin Sting in what was supposed to be a quick count by the referee, showing the referee to be working for Hogan, but instead the ref did a normal count and the match would be restarted by special guest referee Victim of the Montreal Screwjob Bret Hart. And then after the match being restarted, after all that, Sting would beat Hogan, finally tapping him out with a sharpshooter. What in the was that? Apparently, according to everyone involved, the original finish was supposed to be Sting beating Hulk Hogan straight up, putting him over as the savior of WCW and possibly the new face of the company. But apparently, on the night of the event, the finish would be changed by Hulk Hogan himself, who felt like, and I quote, "If I was gonna lose, it should be in a way that I was better off after the loss." And I'm sorry, but what are you talking about? The whole point of losing is to put over the other star. Losing to Sting would not hurt you, Hulk Hogan. You're already a megastar. What are you talking about? This whole storyline was built up to make Sting a bigger star. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna lie, my bad. Since Hogan had creative control, any given night he wanted, he could change the finish to a match. And on that night he did. And it would result in one of the most anticlimactic and convoluted finishes to a 2-year story and probably the biggest match in WCW history. And it was this moment right here that would signify the beginning of the end for NWO and for WCW as a whole.